Hey, hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's review for the ongoing BLs that shows are going right now. I'm sorry I keep you waiting. I really couldn't get myself to watch all the shows. There were some serious stuff going on this week, and I thought I was going to be able to do it on time, but I really didn't have it. So yeah, we're going to be discussing this week's shows: the effect, go to an end, TharnType, make our days count, history 3, and also Dark Blue Kiss. So right now, those are the four major shows that are going on. As I told you before, if you have any requests to maybe other show that you want to be reviewed, please let me know in the comments. And well, let's get to this. So first of all, we're going to talk about the effect. The effect came to a very abruptly end, especially for us international viewers. We didn't really know what was going on. There's a language barrier going on, and sometimes we just miss the details in the conversation. And there was some rumors that said that there was a boycott towards the series because they were touching the rape thing. Also, because the last scene from the second chapter was very intense. And I'm telling you, these are rumors. I watched the last episode. I didn't think it was chopped. I didn't think they really had much more to add to the story unless they wanted to go to the redemption arc for King. So I think 3 chapters was good for what they wanted to portray. Again, this analysis that I'm going to do. It comes from different perspectives. You need to know, or you need to take in account that this is a entertainment business. So this is a business. It has like the craft, it has the artistic point of view, but it has also the business perspective, and we need to take in account those two things in order to make a better analysis of the series. So I'm doing a more structured analysis. I'm going to go with the bad first, and then I'm going to go to the better points of those that I have found that are the best ones. Okay, so we're going to start with the bad. The bad for the effect. Okay, there is a thing that is called Queercoding, and there was something that was called the Hays Code that American viewers may be aware of, may not. There is an excellent analysis made by a YouTuber that analyzes all the queer coding, queer baiting, and talks a lot about queer representation on media. I'm going to let a link either on the description or on the first at the first comment, so you can check it out. I don't mean to do the same review. She already made it, but it's very important for us to understand that queer representation, gay representation, has always been an issue because there has been a censorship. The censorship, according to the Hays Code, stated that the gay character could be portrayed, but it has to have like a divine penance. No, this character should be punished at the end. So usually, well, gay characters get killed or they get to suffer consequences because of their acts. And usually it's very deus ex machina. It's not like something they really deserve, but at the end they just get hit by a car. You know what I'm the similarities here? So even if that I want to believe that the effect was not doing this on purpose, they kind of ended up doing it because if you pay close attention, the bad characters are the gay ones, the only openly gay ones, or the only ones that admit that they are gay. In this case, Ken and Man. And that doesn't leave us with a very good taste, because also they kind of try to make this promote and bright storytelling going on, but they didn't quite get it. They tried, but they didn't quite deliver it. At the end, they just suggested that there was something more going on, but we never get to decide if it was really a romance or they were really having a relationship. So that leaves the gay characters on a very bad spotlight at the end of the series, and that really concerns me. If you want to find a very good example about this kind of representation, you can watch Bishonen, and it's a 90s movie, and you can see what I'm talking about. This changed from Love of Siam. And the current BL that we know is different because Love of Siam there to change the narrative, and we cannot take steps backwards. We need to keep pushing forward. So yeah, that is the worst thing from the series. The second worst thing is, well, let me tell you, I really want to like the series. I really wanted to give it a try, but they have very good, very bad directing and production choices. So just to speak about something that everyone is speaking about, the end. They left this kind of open end that we don't know what was going to happen. And some may say, hey, they are just closing the door to avoid any like Kang and Shin going together. But I thought it was kind of queer coding first, and also I think it was very well bad directed. The scenes were bad directed. The production choices, for example, the sound choices for the dramatic moments, and they just uh, had this awful music, very like nice and cheery when there was this very serious thing going on the scene, and they tried to create suspense. I think with that, it was just odd. I really didn't like it. I'm sorry, but they need to work on it. I know that the production had issues to move forward, and maybe that's why this happened. But I think that also we can see that there is some amateur choices on the directing and in the script. Um, and if they have really a second season or a remake, a lighter remake, I hope they can fix this. So now the good. I'm trying to find it. I'm working very hard to do it, but I'm going to tell you the friendship portrayal it's nice. They try to show a nice light of these guys standing behind Shin and supporting him on this very difficult moment. Also, I have to tell you this: the portrayal of this issue is very complicated, and I think they made their best effort. But also, going back to the bad, I'm sorry, they had some issues with the display of the story. And as I told you, this is a business. And what happens here? They told a story about rape. And if you are a man, and if you are gay, and if you watch this rape scene, you may have serious questions about this can be viable, right? So yeah, I think this is a lot like something that may happen to a girl, and that's very important that they say this and they portray this about it. But I'm not quite sure it's exactly how it could happen to a man. So yeah, that's weird. But what happens is that they are addressing female audience also. So this female audience can feel identified and they can get behind the project. And that's a business perspective, so we need to agree, but sometimes they just don't make it in the best way. So yeah, that's an issue. But they try to portray a very real issue. They talk about depression, they talk about having to be behind the person when they are going through these very difficult moments. They talk about the effect, because it's the effect of social harassment, social media harassment. So I think they touch important topics. They just have very poor delivery. And the best thing from my point of view is the acting. This whole series was carried by the acting, especially Shin, the one that portrays Shin, King, Bright. Those actors just carried the whole thing over. And I'm going to tell you, this is not only their credit. I think the director, maybe a theater director, because the director knows how to direct actors, but he makes very poor choices in other aspects of the direction. So kudos for the acting, kudos for the acting directing, but yeah, you need to fix other stuff, especially if you're going to do this all over again. However, I think it was a good conversation to have. I think it still leaves a lot to discuss. I don't think it was a really good series at all in general, but I think they made an effort. So I'm looking forward to see where this goes and if they can bring something better the next time. Okay? So that was for the effect. Now we're going to talk about TharnType. So now this is a rough one for me because let me tell you, I had to read on Wikipedia. I'm going to read you something from Wikipedia so you can we can be in the same conversation session here and we can discuss my issue with TharnType. Okay, so there is a concept that is called plot device that is used in storytelling. Now, a plot device, according to Wikipedia, or plot mechanism, is any technique in a narrative used to move the plot forward. A cliched plot device may annoy the reader, and contrived or arbitrary device may confuse the reader, causing a loss of the suspension of disbelief. However, a well-crafted plot device, or one that emerges naturally from the setting or characters of the story, may be entirely accepted or may even be unnoticed by the audience. Suspension of disbelief, just very quick, okay? Term suspension of disbelief or willing suspension of disbelief has been defined as a willingness to suspend one's critical faculties and believe something surreal, sacrifice of realism and logic for the sake of enjoyment. So, what happens here? A plot device is a mechanism that storytellers use in order to move the story forward so we can get to from point A to point B. But if this is not very well done, or if it's a cliche, if it's a trope, if it's something that we cannot believe, then we're not going to believe it. We're not going to have this agreement to have a surreal, a fantasy, because something there just quite not get the it's not quite logic. It doesn't follow the logic of the story that you are telling me. So, and this happens with TharnType. I have read many places, many comments, people wondering how Tharn could that easily ask, how Type could that easily ask Tharn to have sex. And yeah, well, they try to explain it, say that in the book there's a lot of internal monologue about it, and there is reasoning behind this. But if you see the scenes, you cannot tell why this is happening. So that means that it's a very bad plot device because they needed to move forward to they having a relationship so they can tell the cons and pros of their relationship. So yeah, they didn't even bother to make it right. And they just throw us some meat because yeah, we're simple people. I'm a simple person. I like porn. So yeah, this is a lot of like porn. If you search straight guy goes gay on a porn site, you're going to find a lot of plots like this. So am I watching porn? Yeah, some kind. like soft porn. Yeah. So that take me to the better or the best. It's porn time. Very nice bed scenes. I think they do it very well. And Mew is gorgeous. Type delivers. It's very credible. I have an issue with the thing about the eyes because, well, it's on the books. They didn't bring it to the screen. And again, it's about expectations, about narrative, about talking to men, and the difference that is talking to gay men than is to talk to straight women. But yeah, they did a very good scene. So I'm going to say that that is the best of TharnType so far. I'm just going to stop thinking. They want to sell us this plot that is very cliche. Good for you. I'm going to buy it. Just give me more meat. It's okay. Also, the attempt that they made to make a Tharn, to humanize Tharn, and that he admitted that he was making an unwanted advance over type. I think that's commendable. I think that was nice to do. I don't agree with, okay, so now you admit that you did something wrong, and now the one that you did something wrong is going to fall in love with you immediately. But yeah, at least they are addressing there's an issue, there was a consent issue, and that is something important. The issue with Thailand is that they do not know how to do things ugly. They do everything pretty. Everything is beautiful. You can see that the guys are beautiful, the scenery is beautiful. So yeah, they just don't know how to make things look awful. And many times reality is awful, and you need to show it like that. Because if you show it like that, it can become beautiful. And that, my people, is what happened with History 3. Oh my god. History 3, make our days count. What a masterpiece. I mean, it's very difficult. Taiwan, for me, gives the best quality of BL in production sense, over also storytelling, acting. I think they have the whole package. And this year we are celebrating Taiwan to give us having equality in marriage. So they couldn't go behind. They need to go forward, and that's what they are doing. They are giving us the best storytelling that we have right now. And I'm going to tell you why. Uh, this happened a lot. Talking about using plot devices, we have 4 chapters moving around Xianhao. Xianhao, this is this guy that we met that is very handsome, that is a guy with a lot of inner, mm, like a lot of values, but also, well, he's a brat and he has his parents and he lives with them. He doesn't have a lot of things to worry about, really. And he's very loyal to his friends, and then he gets involved in this situation because he only cares about his friends and his games. He doesn't want to do any other thing, like many guys of his age. And then he gets involved in this drama that he didn't want to get involved with Yushigu, right? And he has to face him, mostly because he has to keep face, but not because he wanted to. And then when he faces Yushigu, I think something very important happens. He finds someone that is so out of his comfort zone that really doesn't answer to his provocations the way that he wants. That doesn't say, "Oh yeah, whatever you want," and it puts him off totally. So he harasses him until the moment that he breaks him down. and then he feels very sorry for himself, and we're still on the narrative of Shanghao. We are not with Yushihu. We just get some glimpses of what is the life of Yushigu. We know that he's poor because we are the audience. We're here. This is the story, and Shanghao doesn't know what is going on with Yushigu and the same. But we get to see both sides. So we get to see some glimpses of the life of Yushigu. We know that he's poor. We know that he's in need, that he may be orphan, but suddenly we just forget about it because we are so focused on Shanhao's story, on Shanhao falling in love of Yoshigu, and we're like, oh, that's so beautiful, right? That we just forget about Yoshigu reality. And this keeps going all the time while Shanhao makes a move on him until we get to the final scene of the sixth episode where Yoshigu goes to this work because he needs money. He needs to work at a place, at a gay bar, it looks like. And Shanghao follows him because, well, okay. And then he bashes him and he hits the owner and he takes him out of the place. And now, all of a sudden, we get to see Yoshigu at the face, and he looks at us at the same time that he's watching Shanghao, and he says, "I'm sorry, I can't be a character on your game. I don't have money. I am not like you. I really need to make money if I don't get the scholarship. I won't be able to afford next semester tuition. Can you please spare me a chance?" Um, it's just so intense. It's just next level of storytelling because he we have been all this time distracted with this sort of problems, this narrative, this conflict about love, and now he's like, no, you know what, this is life, bitches, and you I don't live your life. I'm not a character on your plot device. So kudos to Taiwan, please doing what you are doing. Um, it's worth to watch. I don't know if it's worth to pay $4 a month, but yeah, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. So congratulations, and also special kudos to the second couple. We don't get to see their development yet. We're going to have this story between a young guy and an older guy, and I think that Sumbo is great. And kudos to you to keep doing this place a gayer place. So thank you. That was history 3. Now we're going to move forward to Dark Blue Keys, and I'm going to tell you, this is not my favorite series right now. Not even. I prefer TharnType. I'm going to tell you because it's more interesting, at least what I'm looking at the screen. But GMMTV are very good at what they do, and what they do is to tell stories. They have a lot of experience and they know how to do it. In this case, if we go again to the plot devices, they know how to build them, they know how to plant the seeds, and then we get to gather them, the results. They planted the seed, for example, for the father being so mean and so difficult, so they don't have a place to hide. So Cow needs to face the consequence of his lie, right? But also they planted this that Morg doesn't have money, that son had to pay the bail so they can get out of the jail, and he's owing money to him. So this is a plot device. They plan it, but they deliver it, and we don't get to see it like something that they're trying to manipulate, but they are doing. They are manipulating the audience, but they are very good at it. So I think I like that. I like the side couple. I'm not going to go for bad and good because this is a little middle ground. I kind of like it, but you know what happens with Pete and Cal, we know where this is going. Having, if you know that you can see the difference from History 3 to this series. History 3 is touching this very important subject about a guy that really has some needs, really have difficulties in life, and this other guy that doesn't have any problem. How can they be together? And the issue with Pete and Cow is that we don't really get to see that. We know that Cow has money issues, even though it doesn't look like, because Thailand, they don't know how to do things ugly, but also because they choose to go to the with the trust issue, with the communication plot, where they don't say things or they give lies, or Pete doesn't want to understand Cal's point of view. So yeah, I know, it's interesting, but I have seen this a lot. You know what's going to happen. So nice to see, because Cal is beautiful, and also Pete. I love Thai and New. But I think it's more interesting the Sun and Morg is history. They're still developing. They are still not there, but we are going to get there maybe in a couple of chapters. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Besides that, I don't really felt that this was a very interesting chapter. So that's it for this week's review. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I thank you for watching this with me, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.